Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Got another beautiful day here in Vancouver with the sun, so that's always nice. Gotta say, I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm doing that 3-day refresh, and I taught 3 classes yesterday. I had the sub today, so I'm teaching 3 today and 3 tomorrow. It's a little bit much, but I'm just gonna fake it. That's a great thing about spin, is that you can actually fake it a little bit. You can take it easy and people won't even know. So that's a little secret. So I get asked a lot about protein. A lot of people they're a little bit confused about protein, how much you should be having, if more is better, if more is bad for your health. So I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about today, especially since I'm doing this 3-day refresh. It's actually quite high in protein. It's supplemented with protein shakes that have 20 grams of protein per shake. So I'm getting enough protein on it, so that's why I like this particular sort of cleanse. I don't like the word cleanse, but that's sort of what I'm doing. So you have to have protein, of course. If you're trying to build muscle, you need to have that protein. When you go and work out and you actually do damage to your muscles, little micro tears they call them, and or micro trauma, and those need to be rebuilt, and your body has to do that, and it needs amino acids in order to do that, and that's what you find in protein is amino acids. That's what it's made up of. So you absolutely do have to have it. Some people think, well, if a little bit is good, a lot must be better, but it's not. You can overdo it on protein. Your body can only use so much protein in a day, so if you're having more than your body can use, just like any other nutrient, it could be stored as fat. If it's not used for energy, and your body typically doesn't use protein for energy. It's kind of like a last resort sort of thing. So if there's nothing else that the body can use for energy, it'll go for protein and eat away at your muscle, but it's not the first choice. So if you're eating excess protein on a healthy diet, you're going to end up storing some of that as fat. Hey Ryan, how's it going? So you definitely do have to have some. So if it was as easy as having more in order to gain muscle, that would be awesome, because that would make it a lot easier to gain muscle, but unfortunately that doesn't work that way. But you do need some for sure. And for most people who are active, if you're active, you're going to need more. If you're sedentary, you need less. So, but for the typical active person, 0.6 to 1.1 grams of protein per pound of body weight is kind of a good way to go. So, keeping in mind that is for an active person. So don't try to go over 1.1 grams. It's not necessarily going to be really bad for you if you do. If you are already healthy, it's not really going to be a problem, but there's just no point. So like I said, your body can only use so much of it. So if you're putting in extra, it's not going to get used. It's just going to get stored. And the exact amount that you need will depend, a little bit on your genetics and your fitness goals. So you can talk to somebody about that, talk to a nutrition expert, find out what they think, try out a few things, try out different amounts, see how it feels, see how your body feels, see how your body reacts to it, and then just kind of figure it out from there. There's no exact number for any one person, so you kind of have to play with it a little bit. Hey Stephanie, how's it going? So protein in your health. So I know I've heard this in the past, and it was something that worried me, was that you can damage your kidneys by eating too much protein. It's true, but that would be a lot of protein. So for your typical healthy person, you'd be fine having even up to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. It's not going to do any long-term damage, but yeah, I mean, it's possible to have too much, and there have been cases where people have had too much and they have done damage to their bodies. So, but just keeping in mind what the parameters are for the amounts that you should be having, and not going over that, not thinking that, because you want to put muscle on faster, you need to eat more protein. I mean, depending on, the person and their goals. I mean, someone who's doing heavy duty bodybuilding, their diet is going to be much different from someone who's, working out a few days a week and just trying to be healthy. So, Hey Brian, too much protein. If your body doesn't use the extra protein, it'll get dumped into your urine. If it's picked up by your doctor and identified, it can screw up your health insurance when you're older. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. Very interesting. Thanks for commenting that. Good to know. So just being wise, knowing how much you should be having and not overdoing it. You shouldn't be overdoing it on anything. I think we kind of tend to be like, oh, a little bit's good, a lot's better, and that's usually not the case with anything. So what are some good sources of protein? And there's two types of proteins that occur in nature. They're complete proteins and incomplete proteins. So your complete proteins have all the essential amino acids. Your incomplete proteins are missing a few. So for vegetarians, most vegetarian protein is incomplete, so they would just need to put together foods that complement each other so they get all of the essential amino acids in their diet. So some complete proteins, so whey, we've also all have heard of whey. Most shakes are made with whey, so that's a really good one. Dairy, eggs. You do have to watch though if you are sensitive to dairy. Usually whey doesn't bother people who are sensitive to dairy. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but usually they're not bothered by it. But if you try a whey shake and you notice you don't feel very good, better to look for a different shake. And I'm going to tell you a really good source that you can use that is a complete protein. That's a vegan source. Meat and seafood. So I think pretty much everyone realizes that meat is a good source of protein, complete protein. Quinoa, I actually didn't realize that quinoa is a complete protein, so that's good to know. Hemp seeds, I did know that. And the plant that is a complete protein is moringa, which I've talked about before. So when I found out about that, I thought that was just amazing to have, a plant that actually contains all of the essential amino acids, because you just don't see that very often. So if you're looking for a vegan source, hemp seeds and moringa, and there are some great proteins made with moringa, so that's pretty exciting for anyone who's vegetarian or vegan. Makes it a lot easier than trying to figure out which foods you need to put together so that you get the full complement of your essential amino acids. So the incomplete proteins, beans, nuts, seeds, legumes, grains, they do have a bit of protein in them. Fruits and vegetables, they actually do have a little tiny bit of protein in them. Coconut flour, nutritional yeast, and most plant-based protein powders are not complete proteins. So again, you kind of have to figure out what goes together so you get all of your amino acids. So that's my little thing on protein. You got to make sure that you eat your protein. Don't be tempted to cut that out of your diet. Really, with all the macronutrients, we do need all of them in our diets. Humans are omnivores, so we do need proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Just making the wise choices that are good for you and work with your body and work for your goals as well. So just remember that just because some is good, it doesn't mean more is going to be better. You can do a little bit of damage if you go way overboard. So just, be smart. And really, if you eat too much protein, you're not going to feel very good. You're going to have a very heavy feeling in your stomach, and it's going to take a long time to digest. So for most people, overeating protein is not something they would normally do. Overeating carbs, that's something that's easier to do. Your body digests it a little bit faster, so that's why a lot of people do overeat carbs. But with protein, usually it's not the case. If you're using shakes, make sure you check those ingredients, because sometimes even if they're using a really healthy statement on their advertising, maybe they have put some moringa in there, but then you read the rest of the ingredients and they've also included stuff that shouldn't be going into your body, like artificial stuff, then you want to steer clear of that. So do make sure that you read those labels if you're going for protein powders. And if you're not sure, just snap a picture of it and you can send it to me through Messenger, and I'll take a look at it for you, because those ingredient labels can be very confusing. I did study nutrition and learned a lot about those labels, so I'm more than happy to help you out. And I'm going to get going and get ready for the third class, the one that I'm going to cheat on a little bit. I'm going to go a little easier than I'm letting on. Don't tell any of my clients. But, sometimes you have to do it. I tell them they can take it easy when they need to, and I definitely do when I need to. So have a really great evening. I'll be back again tomorrow.